check out the eclectic sounds of Kirani Ayat, who hails out of Ghana. My oh my. Stay tuned, you will not be disappointed.
Make I show you love it. I give no nike song. I give no ninawa. Najibam bimba Yankee. I'm down to the finish. Oh, you make me complete. Oh, you make me you. Don't kika tene. Na kaole fe. Munyia ure. You. Don't kika tene. Na kaole fe.
Special shout out to Michael, who hails out of Ghana. That's saying, that's one of his. Well, guess what, Michael? We share the same sentiments because this is one of my favorite Kirani Ayat songs. I had to pull for it. Okay, Kirani Ayat is going to be up in just a few minutes, but ladies and gentlemen, keep vibing. I see you.
Is it me? Am I what you need? Still in dreams? Is it sexually? Is it me? Is it catching me? And show other your way. I am in a midnight darkness.
Baby, oh no. Baby, oh no. I'm running some for you. I'm running some for you. Baby, oh no. Nanga babu, but you know the ansiyasa. Ukoma baya, please. Now you focus. Check my focal priorities on my goals. Been on my toes, no day fuck with the hoes. Boys they don't do much, so I learn to keep my plans to myself. Nabazuda, Nabazuda, Nabataguda, Nabataguda, Nabashiguda, Nabashiguda, Nabazuda. Nabazuda, Nabazuda, Guda, Nabazuda, Guda, Nabata, Guda, Nabata, Guda, Nabasi, Guda, Nabasi, Guda, Nabazu, Guda, Nabazu, she no give me time of day. Up and down, she wants to make me night. Oh, how big they get in yash. Cause back then she they kept me like some food. I well, no far but it the fire. I get the desire. Zamu blaze it up, wallahi my guy, no go fit kaya. Nabazuda, Nabazuda, Nabata Guda, Nabata Guda, Nabashi Guda, Nabashi Guda, Nabazuda, 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 Guda, Nabazuda, Guda, Nabata Guda, Guda, Nabata Guda, Guda, Nabashi Guda, Guda, Nabashi Guda, Guda, Nabazu Guda, Guda, Nabazu Guda, Guda.
Hey, man, Yaron Zamalika, other songs, you know that. Hey, Ayatika, you call me, this shit the way, Baba. Now, Katabane, I bet they know that. Oh, they know that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, my board has lit up. I couldn't tell the last time I see this, but you know what? I am back in full effect. And of course it is, we always aim to please. We do not disappoint. And right about now, we have Kirani Ayat in studio. And my, do we have some questions for him, because we have an audience that's quite excited about wanting to learn more about Kirani as well, okay? And I tell you, you haven't heard anything as yet, okay? Kirani's in studio. Hi, Kirani, how are you?
Hello, Empress Doctor. I'm doing awesome. I'm so excited to be on the show.
Yes, we're excited. I'm excited to host you. I'm quite excited to host you. And let me just get our music. That was a little boring. Yes, I'm quite excited to have you here. Of course, I broke out with one of my favorite songs by you, the For You track. That's one of the tracks that actually got me listening to you, and I was like, oh, okay. Yes. So how most recently you had you have a recent release, an album, and we're going to get into that, because this Guda track that was playing in the background, I also had an opportunity to go on and to check out the visuals. And I must tell you, the song itself is nostalgic, but to have a video that emphasizes what the song is all about is awesome. Now,
thank you.
To our non-speaking, English-speaking audience who would like to know about the Guda track itself, I would like you to introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself, and coming up with the concept for this album, and thirdly, to talk to them about the Guda song itself.
Oh, awesome. Hello, guys, listening, everyone. I am Kirani Ayat, a creative producer, songwriter, and musician from Accra, Ghana. My father is a Nigerian. He comes from Niger, and my mother is a Ghanaian. But I was born in Accra, Ghana. I've been making music for 8 years now. I mostly do fusion and hip-hop. My music is said to be a blend of traditional Hausa music and influenced by Western music styles. So it's very traditional, but it's also mainstream. My debut album, Aisha, which is currently available, it came out last Friday. And the song Guda, which means one in my native Hausa language, is off of that project. And the reason or the inspiration actually behind the song Guda was being part of the Hausa community. We are sort of marginalized in Ghana, even though we are the second biggest tribe in Africa. You know, Hausa is the second biggest spoken language in Africa, aside Swahili, which is the biggest. But we are very marginalized. So for me, I wanted to represent my people in a positive light. I wanted to shed light on my people and where I'm from, our community, our landscape, our way of life, our traditions. And I couldn't think of any other way to do that than to put that in my music, which is the medium I choose to express myself in. So Guda is literally me exposing the world to where I'm from and telling them we are more than whatever marginalization and stereotypicalization, if that's even a word, that's going on, But I just, it's mostly about representation, which is very important to me. So that is what I wanted to do, to represent Black people in the most positive light ever.
We are going to. I am going to get into the fact that you see an artist and you hear the artist sing, and then we get into the artist finally speaks, and you're like, I wasn't expecting that voice with that music. Do you ever get that? Because
to be honest, I get that all the time. The last time I had an interview, they opened the phone line, and then one of the callers was like, I want to know, why does he sound so different from his music? And then everyone started laughing in the studio. I do get that a lot. But I tell them I'm only a vessel, to be honest. And when I'm in my elements, when I'm in the studio, the higher being is using me to tell the message, to propagate this message. So it's different vibes, it's different voices, it's different forces that's just using me to put out this message into the world. So it's different. It's almost like I'm in a triad. But when I'm talking, people say I'm very soft-spoken and I'm very calm. I'm like, yeah, but my music is very energetic. I'm like, it's two different energies, it's two different things.
Because to all my listeners right now, I'm going to tell you, when you have a chance, you have to go out and check out Kirani Ayat on YouTube, or just type him in Google and check out his performances and check out his videos, and you'll be like, that is not the same guy that was speaking. It is not just about the speech itself, but also your physique. You give me that Nigerian physique in terms of body structure, and you actually, some part of your roots is Nigerian. Am I correct?
Yeah, Nigerian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in terms of the whole physique, that you also do a little bit of modeling as well.
Yeah, I do a little bit of modeling. I started that last year, so I'm fairly new to that field.
How is it going?
It's very interesting because so far I've only done it for my friends. I'm a bit of a shy person too. So
unbelievable.
I've only done 2 so far, just for my friends, people that are like close to me. So, but hopefully when more comes, I might consider and see if I'll do it.
Oh wow, totally unbelievable. Well, I am learning some things today. I must let you know as well that I actually manage one of the fashion designers in Ghana. So I am going to hook you up. Or we'll have a conversation. Quite interesting. You said you are shy, but it's great to see in terms of the music how it brings out your entire being, and know what you exude in terms of your music. Quite interestingly, one of my employees put out earlier today that it is something that I always say, that in truth and in fact, that I'm a sucker for historical, cultural songs as well, that you can listen to 10, 20, 30 years down the road. And that's something that's necessarily you play it today and then tomorrow or next week you don't want to hear it anymore. Of course, within your songs, how much languages do you speak, by the way?
I speak Hausa, which is my native language. I speak Chi, which is the most common spoken language in Accra here, or Ghana, pretty much. I also speak English, and then I speak a little bit of Ghana and a little bit of Berber, so that's 5 languages.
Whoa. Okay. Well, as I was listening to a few of the tracks, I saw where you actually have a play on words in different languages as I was listening as well. So, for myself, it is that I also understand Twi, I've lived in Nigeria for close to a year, so it is a little bit of things there, as you're saying within your songs, that I'm understanding what's going on. But for the general audience who don't necessarily speak another language, and our English-speaking audience, as we go through the list of songs and I listen to the album, it also is very traditional, historical, and you the perfect song for the perfect video. We see a lot of videos that is highlighted across Africa in different mediums. But what I like about the video itself and the song itself is that there are parts of Ghana that persons haven't seen. The structure, the huts, the different places that are in the hills or in different communities, and it was highlighted in your video as well. I applaud that. The album itself is you're doing it in your native language, right? Is that your preference with recording?
It definitely is my preference, and it's also a bit of a process. Because I say process because some way, somehow, we are made to make art for the Western audience, and it's almost like we are forced to make music in a language that the Western audience would understand. But I'm coming from a place where there's more than 50 million people that speak the language I speak. So I think, if anything, I should be thinking of servicing these people first. And to me, music is really a higher vibration, and it's also a means for me to connect with my people. So first and foremost, I try to make sure that my people understand me, but also the music is on a vibration that will connect with other people who don't even understand me. So a lot of people, ever since the album came out, have been messaging me that even though they don't understand what I'm saying, they are really feeling the music, like it's speaking to them. And I was like, it was intentional. I made it for the music to connect with your soul. So even if your ears don't understand it, your soul will understand it. So that's why I make music mostly or majority in Hausa, because for me, I'm making music for my people, but also in extension for the world. But my people should be serviced first, if you get what I mean.
I'm laughing right now because I must tell you, I love you, Kirani Ayat. I love the fact that there are various countries that come on this show, and the various artists, and I've asked them this question for various artists who record in different dialect, in different languages, and what's their preference, and I've never gotten the perfect response until now.
Thank you.
I've never got the perfect response until now, and I am a believer that it is that, that's your country, that's your core audience. However, outside of that audience, and I could tell, I had a feeling when I listened to the album, because that's one of the reasons why I played my favorite track at the beginning for you, to show the flexibility. That song was in English, and as well, and here it is that, and this album itself is very traditional, it's very, native and everything, and I think he made it specifically for the people. Well, I am going to jump to one of your other tracks, and we'll be right back with some more questions as well from our audience.
It's Queso from Timberland. Go beji bida yo makini queso. Sangan no banki, tell him you are my own. Mariama, Kirenawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara. 2 days this I no bed, baby, you are my boy. Banya bachi, banchi, I benchi, if it's not from your pot. Oh, all for you. You know it's true, yeah. If you don't go back for you, tell me what you don't want to go buy for you, girl. Carry me go low. If Zami call up a line, she knows I've been the Zamudi on the low. Yari yabi pro. Go beji bida yo makini keso. Sanganu Banki, tell them you are my own. Mariama, Kirinawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara. Kobe Chibi da Yama Kini Keso. Sanganu Banki, tell them you are my own. Mariama, Kirinawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara.
Yeah. Nyemen kwana me pe mu ye mo. Minima de konti de mama raw. Nya wone me be pregeno who me bu ni jaw. Chale ko she show me things I never seen before. Until me come a friend I was a mic. And I just tell me what you like. Open the sofa so now you prefer on the bike. Me say me the baby or your baby massage with ties. Zafi, you know they kick a song kit the man not backy. And I mean say my mimi and the sabo bitadi. Me tennis one I'm sorry one man coming who treat me say Kawasaki. So kina the daddy. Me to me from a coma and come out with Barbie. So we feel me I would have friend me anytime and anywhere and I'll be there. So we didn't need na mama dia Maria my yafi.
Kobe chibi da yama kini keso. Sanganu Banki, tell them you are my own. Mariama, Kirinawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara. Kobe chibi da yama kini keso. Sanganu Banki, tell them you are my own. Mariama, Kirinawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara.
It's Picasso from Timberland.
Kobe chibi da yama kini keso. Sanganu Banki, tell them you are my own. Mariama, Kirinawa. Mariama, Baki de Sara. 2 days this I no bed, baby, you are my boy.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. What you're listening to in the background, it is my own. Okay? Mariama. My own. Featuring Sarkodie. And if anybody knows me well, they know that I'm a huge Sarkodie fan. So, Kirani, what is it like working with the man, the legend, the icon?
Sarkodie is honestly an icon to every Ghanaian creator.
I don't think just the Ghanaians. He is incredible. Yes.
He is, to be honest. And it's a privilege for me to have. We have 2 songs together, actually. This is the second song me and him did, and it's been a privilege.
Yes.
And what makes it even better, even sweeter for me is he actually wanted to work with me, because he's such a big artist. A lot of people want to work with him, but he reached out to one of the producers I work with to be like, hey, I really like Kirani Ayat and I want to do a song with him. So I remember when the producer called me to be like, hey, Sarkodie, I want to work with you. I was screaming. People thought I was going crazy. I was like, no, I mean, he's Sarkodie and he wants, it's not like I reached out to him. He reached out to work with me. So I was really, really happy when he did that. So yeah, I have so much respect for him.
Yes.
And of course, Mariama is also on my album, which is a privilege for me.
Yeah. I think even for Sarkodie itself, it's like, there's a bit of vibing there as well, that when you listen to his productions and you listen to, even if he works on someone project, it's consistent. His energy, the vibe is consistent as well. So he's at this stage right now where he can, pick and choose who he wants to work with as well. And I mean, some artists actually pay attention to that at the beginning of their career, where it is like, okay, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to move in terms of who I would like to work with. Not everyone does that, but I tell you, I'm a Sarkodie fan. Yes.
Awesome.
I know it. I know all the songs. Yes. Yeah. It's awesome. So, working on the song, My Own. Talk to my English-speaking audience who would like to know a little bit more about your side of the production on My Own. What the lyrics, the message behind the song.
Awesome. So Mariama, which happens to be the name of my girlfriend, so I made that song specifically to show my girlfriend how much I adore her, how much I love her, how much I respect her, and how much I want to spend my life with her. So Mariama is a love song. That's why the title is Mariama and into brackets my own because it's mine.
Okay.
Was handled by Queso, who is like my longtime collaborator. He produced a lot of my music.
Yes.
And we wanted to go with like a very groovy mid-tempo Afrobeat swing, So it's a very African type of sound, but it's not like fast-paced. It's like a really mid-tempo groove, so you can just move slowly and dance, with it with your loved one. And Sarkodie heard the song, and he said he loved it. He wants to do a verse. He even spoke Hausa in his verse, which is how much I know he really liked the song because he spoke my language. And that's how all the song came together, But in short, it's like a sweet love note to my lover.
Nice. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, talk to me about how many albums do you have that have you currently produced thus far?
I have one album, but then I also have 2 EPs.
One album, 2 EPs.
Yes.
And
2 EPs. The first one came out in 2017. The second EP came out in 2019, and in 2022, my album came out.
And where do you go from here? You have the 2 EPs. You now the album. I know this album just came out recently on September 16th.
Yes, last Friday.
Yes, before you answer the last part, let me take it back a little. Is it more work each time you do a production, or is it necessarily more work because you went from an EP to an album?
It's definitely more work because I went from an EP to an album. Because an album, you're supposed to make a statement. An album should be a statement piece. Whereas with an EP, you're proving yourself. You're trying new things. You're letting people know who you are. You're building your name. But with the album, you're supposed to make a statement. You're supposed to let people that you finally arrived. You're certain of who you are and what your art direction is and what you represent. So with the album, it's a bit more pressure because you have to deliver. And I think we did exactly that. We delivered.
Oh boy, interesting, very interesting. And what year did you decide that yes, this is what I would like to do professionally, and I am putting all my efforts into my productions? What year did you decide on that?
It was late 2016.
2016. So
yes,
6 years ago you started recording. Now that you have this album out, what's next for you?
I really want to tour. That has been like one of the main things I really want to do because I really love performing, and I've heard that I'm a great performer. So
I've seen it. You are.
Thank you. I really want to tour the world. I really want to play on different stages, big, small, medium stages. It doesn't matter. I want to tour. I want to perform, and that's pretty much it right now. For this album, that's what I want to do. I want to tour and perform and push the album so as much people can connect with it as possible.
Okay. So we have Phil out of Sweden, and he's actually a tour manager. And he's asking, have you performed outside of Ghana before?
I've performed in California.
In where?
In California, at the Airliner. That was in 2017.
In 2017.
Yeah, I performed at the airliner in California.
What was the experience compared to what's the difference between your Ghana versus California? Of course, this you're in a different country, but is there any highlighted anything that would highlight more in terms of difference?
I feel like what was the difference? The only difference was the crowd. The people were a lot of like white people, and then back home we're all black people. So that was the only difference. In California, there were some few black people, but there was majority like white people. And then obviously in Accra, whenever I'm performing in Accra, sometimes I've also performed in Togo. It's majority black people, but the energy is the same. They're jumping, they're clapping, they're singing along, they're having fun. So the only difference I would say is, obviously overseas the people would look different, but in Africa the people would pretty much look like me. So that's the only difference.
What about the crowd size? Is it way more people in California?
Yeah. In the show at the airliner had a lot of people, but obviously because Ghana is where I'm from, each time I perform there's way more people. It's way more people. Yes.
Boy, I tell you, I've tried to tell a few persons on this, and there's nothing like a African show. Being able to,
it's really
yes,
special.
It's very special itself. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to jump to one of your other tracks. I would like to cover a bit more tracks before we let you go. Aina Jin. Set that track up. Imagine, yes. Set that up for our listening audience before we jump to the track. Give them some background on that.
Najin translates to I hear in my native Hausa language. And it's a societal song that talks about fathers that neglect their family, they don't take care of their family. And then it also talks about women who are gossips. They go around gossiping and spreading like gossips about people and all of that. And then it also talks about children or the youth, which we don't listen, because I feel like the youth nowadays, we feel like we know everything. We don't listen to advice. We are wayward. We do what we like, and we're doing a bunch of stuff that is not good for us. So it's really a song about all these societal ways that is not good for human progress. And I'm preaching against it, and I'm telling everyone that's involved in this that shame on you. You can do better, and you must do better for the future of our human race. That's what the Nigerian is about.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what. Within the song itself, you said there are a lot, it talks about female as well. That's it. Unfortunately, we're in a new age right now where it's not just about females who sit and gossip anymore. No, we have men who actually do that as well.
That's very true.
Right?
That is very true.
So if you need a collab on Inagen and you want me to, drop a verse in terms of that, I got you.
Awesome.
We're going to jump to Inagen and we'll be right back with more Kirani Ayat. yes. So to all the persons who are currently blowing up my phone. Okay? Yes, the name of the artist is Kirani Ayat. Okay? Let me tell you. There are persons who currently are aware that, yes, I do documentaries. So it's quite interesting that someone just sent me a message and said, Empress Rose, do you realize that this track is like you're watching a movie and this is the soundtrack in the background? And here I am off screen talking to Kirani about this song being in documentaries. Let me tell you. This track, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yes. So, what's the inspiration behind it?
It was just me observing my society and and the day-to-day activities within my community and noticing that there's some patterns that's not right. There are husbands in my community who are not taking care of their families. It's not right.
Yes.
There are women who are out there in the community who are living life that's not right. They have a family to take care of, they don't. And then there's the youth in the community who are also all just being belligerent and miscreants and just being wayward, to be honest, with no sense of direction. So this is a song to call everyone to order. Like, you have to do better. We as a people need to do better. That's the inspiration behind it, Najin.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, I tell you, Ghana, please, I hope it is that more Ghanaians. I have actually a huge Ghanaian community is currently listening right now and is tapped in. And go out and I'm telling my Ghanaians, everyone across the world, but it's nothing better than having your own support you as well. Support Kirani Ayat, because let it be known, a lot of persons that pass through this show, and some started at the very bottom and passed through the show, and I've listened to their music, and I'm always right on the money. Trust and believe that this name that you're hearing right now is going to be a household name. Quicker than even Kirani himself realized it. This will be a household name. You know why? It's not just about the music that you make, but it's the power within the music. It's you can tell that you took time to with everything from the recording to the video content to the video production. It was not a project where you just said, you know what, I have 6 songs and I'm just going to throw them up and I'm going to make an album and I'm going to put them out because I have the singing ability or I have the talent. It is a little bit more than that. There is branding that's coming out. I see the branding where you have brand yourself a certain way, where it is like, wherever you are in the world, this is who I am. And my music speaks and it tells you who I am. And I love the fact that you are able to exhume that throughout your music and throughout your productions.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. So what's next for you? What's next for Kirani Ayat?
Hopefully a tour, a world tour. Hopefully more music. Hopefully more collaborations. To all the creatives listening, tuned in right now, to all the producers, to fellow artists. I love to collaborate. I really love to collaborate. Even my album is a collaboration project. I make sure I reached out to different producers, different instrumentalists, different artists to come and be on my album. I think collaboration is the key for us to grow as a human, so I really love collaboration. So everyone listening, if you're an artist, a creative, let's collab. I'd love to do that. Also to the booking agents, reach out. Let's tour. I really want to be out here touring and performing. So yeah, to the documentary people, like you said, Empress, let them all reach out. So
yes,
we put the songs in, movies, adverts, documentaries, all of that. I'm really ready. Like you said, I've been ready, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
I love it. It's a pleasure having you here. It's a pleasure. I really.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you stop by, and I appreciate it. I know that my audience appreciates it wholeheartedly. would you like to do a last minute shout out to anyone before you exit?
Yes, please. First of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Empress Rose, for the opportunity for being on the show. Thank you so much. God bless. And to everyone listening, thank you so much for tuning in. To my friends and manager, Seduji, thank you so much for creating the connection. And to my fans in Ghana and Africa and the world at large, God bless you. Aisha's Son is out on all streaming platforms. Stream it, suggest it to your friends. And again, God bless you. Love and light.
Blessed love. We are going to vibe out. We are going to vibe out with, is it Fadana? Featuring Warlassi?
Yes, you got that.
Yes! We are going to vibe out with that song. Anything you'd like to say before? Any additional comments about this song before we vibe out?
Let me jump into the comments about this song. So Fadana translates to my fight, and it's also a song about the abuse of power. You know, there's a lot of people here, institutions, individuals that abuse their power because they have authority over other people. And I also want them to know that in order for us to progress as humans, we need to treat each other with equal respect. And that's what Fadana is about.
I'm telling you. You need to do an English version of this album. Yes, you do. You need to do the English version of this album because it's nothing but truth that you're spitting, I tell you. Yeah? But where there's an audience that does not necessarily understand the language, it's yeah. But music speaks, right? Music speaks.
Yep.
Volume. Yes. It's been a pleasure having you stop by, Kirani. I will have you on another time in the future when it is that you have another project. You are more than welcome here.
Thank you so much.
Have a blessed one. We're going to vibe out with Father Now featuring Walasi.
I do make you chop. Movito, I do all my do. Movito. Wow. I am never man out, away, no do nyafu, I am never mad down out, away, no do nyafu. I hope you don't know about.
ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am keeping this voice a little bit under control here. Yes, to my listening audience, I appreciate the fact that you are tuning in and vibing with me today. So we'd just like to take the time out to shout out a few countries before we bring our next interview in place. Okay, we'd like to send a special shout out to Canada, Toronto, Montreal. I thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, it is that we always have Africa in the house. So we'd like to shout out a few countries. Ghana, thanks for tapping in. Gambia, South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia. I see you. Shout out to Tony Williams. Yes, of course it is that. Also, we have Botswana. Thanks for tuning in and checking me out as well. We have quite a few countries that are just taking their time to come on today. But yes, I am here today and I'm still having an issue with my voice. However, as I've said at the very top of the hour, when the voice fails, music is always there to replace, okay? Next, we have up on our next interview, it is going to be Israel, the God Picker. When you're talking about reggae dancehall artist who has a vibe, the versatility and positivity that is exhumed between his production, that's what Israel, the God Picker, is all about. We're going to talk about